Hi everyone. Imagine spending billions on technology you can't control. That's not science fiction, it's 2026. While 88% of organizations race to adopt AI, only 39% see real profits. Even more terrifying? Most companies can't pull the plug if their AI goes rogue. The great AI reckoning is here and the cracks are starting to show. Let's learn in detail here.
You know, for the past few years, the story of AI has been all about explosive growth, right? Seemingly limitless potential. But as we head into 2026, a very different story is starting to take shape. This is the year the hype runs headfirst into a wall of hard operational reality. This is what we're calling the Great Reckoning.
And look, this isn't just speculation anymore. The really complex challenges of deploying artificial intelligence at scale. I'm talking everything from financial viability to security and control. Well, they're no longer theoretical problems for some far-off future. They are here, right now.
So in this explainer, we're going to break down this new reality. We'll kick things off with the business and financial headwinds, then we'll look at the huge impact on the workforce. From there, we'll dive into the critical challenge of governance, look ahead to what's next and its surprising bottlenecks, and finally, we'll pull it all together to figure out how to navigate this new world.
All right, first up, the money. The whole conversation is shifting from what AI can do to whether it actually makes any business sense. All that initial excitement from pilot programs and little experiments, it's now facing the really tough questions about enterprise-wide profitability and whether this stuff is sustainable in the long run.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the disconnect here. A massive 88% of organizations are using AI in some way, but only 39% are seeing any impact on their profits at the enterprise level. This right here is the adoption value gap. Turns out it's pretty easy to launch a cool new AI tool. It's a whole lot harder to actually wire it into the business in a way that moves the bottom line. And this brings us to something that sounds a little boring, but is actually super important: depreciation schedules. So historically, a company might depreciate a server over, say, 5 years. But an AI chip? That can be obsolete in 18 months, maybe 2 years. If companies are using the old accounting rules for this new, incredibly fast-moving hardware, they could be sitting on what some experts are calling an impairment bomb, a sudden, huge write-down that could absolutely wreck their finances. The real cost of AI? It's hiding in the details.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about the human side of all this. For a while, the big fear was all about mass job elimination. But the data we're seeing in 2026 paints a much more complicated picture. It's really a story of massive transformation, not just termination.
And you can see the economic incentive right here. This isn't just about keeping your job, it's about making it way more valuable. Workers who can really use and collaborate with AI are commanding a wage premium of up to 56%. Being AI savvy is quickly becoming one of the biggest differentiators for your career and how much you can earn.
Now, if we zoom out and look at the whole job market, the story isn't about net job loss at all. Projections are showing that while, 92 million roles might be displaced, an incredible 170 million new ones are expected to be created. That's a seismic shift. So the real challenge for us as a society isn't a future with no jobs. It's a future that demands a massive, urgent effort to upskill and reskill the entire workforce to fill all these new roles.
This brings us to what might be the most serious challenge of this whole reckoning: control. We are deploying these incredibly powerful autonomous systems across our most critical infrastructure. The problem is our ability to govern them, to make sure they operate safely and do what we want them to do, is lagging dangerously behind.
The core of the problem is something security experts are calling the Governance Containment Gap. Think of it like this. We've gotten really good at watching AI. We have all these fancy dashboards and monitoring tools. Those are our observation decks. But we are terrible at stopping it when something goes wrong. We don't have the circuit breakers. We don't have the kill switches. We're missing the basic tools of containment.
And the numbers here are, well, they're pretty sobering. Almost 2/3 of organizations can't actually enforce purpose limitations. What that means is they can't guarantee that an AI agent they built for marketing won't just decide to wander over and start poking around in sensitive financial records.
And get this, a full 60% of organizations don't even have a simple kill switch. If an AI agent goes rogue, there's no big red button to just shut it down, which leaves them incredibly exposed.
And on top of all that, more than half can't even isolate their AI systems from their most sensitive networks. This creates a huge risk of what's called lateral movement, where just one compromised AI could potentially cause chaos across an entire corporate network.
It's a massive, unaddressed vulnerability.
So what's the one thing that predicts whether a company is ready for this? It's not their budget, it's not their industry, it's not how big they are. It's board engagement. It's that simple. When the board of directors starts asking tough questions about AI governance, companies get serious and build it. But as you can see, the gaps are alarming, especially in government, where 71% of boards are not engaged on this issue, even though they handle our most sensitive data.
So, with all these challenges, what's next? Well, the pace of innovation definitely isn't slowing down. We're seeing everything from brain-computer interfaces starting to go mainstream to entirely new kinds of constraints popping up that could limit AI's growth.
For years, the story of AI was limited by one thing: getting enough advanced silicon chips. But the new bottleneck? It's something way more fundamental: electricity. The sheer amount of power needed to run these massive data centers is creating an energy shortfall that is quickly becoming the key strategic challenge. It could actually make access to power more important than access to computer chips.
So, as we start to pull all these different threads together, a pretty clear picture of 2026 starts to emerge. It's a year of transition, a year where that early kind of unchecked optimism about AI is being balanced by the messy, complex realities of making it work safely, profitably, and, for the actual benefit of society. So, to quickly recap the big takeaways here, we're seeing a growing gap between just using AI and actually creating real value from it. The workforce isn't being eliminated, but it has to transform at a speed we've never seen before. Our biggest security challenge is that we can't reliably contain the systems we built. And finally, the future of AI might depend less on code and more on kilowatts.
And that leaves us with one final and really critical question. The technology itself is just accelerating at this exponential rate. But is our collective wisdom, our ability to govern it, to manage its economic impacts, and to actually control it, is that developing at the same speed? That just might be the defining question of 2026 and for a long time to come.